Howdy folks. Today we will conduct as comprehensive a comparison as possible between the two cheapest Star Citizen starter pack ships, boy is that a mouthful, the Consolidated Outland Mustang Alpha and the Roberts Space Industries Aurora MR, affectionately or derisively known as the Mark. Now before we dive in, let's get some house cleaning things in order. Last week I released my first video in over 6 months and the response has been fantastic. I am so grateful to this community for the feedback, the interaction that I'm able to receive, and I'm very excited to continue building this channel with you all. I stated at the end of that first video that I will be redoing numerous videos from the past due to the introduction of master modes and the weapon parameter changes, making many of my older videos virtually obsolete. We're starting with this video because I figure, hey, starter pack, starter video, not a bad idea. And we will continue over the next week or so to go over all the starter pack ships so that new and returning players can make informed purchasing decisions. Now with all that said, let's get into it. Now the Mustang Alpha and the Aurora MR share many similarities in function. Similarly priced, both are $45 US for the starter packages or $30 US for the standalone ships on the RSI page. Now in game they can be purchased at New Deal in Lorville. The Mustang Alpha is 655,200 Alpha UEC, and the Aurora MR surprisingly is a little bit more in game at 680,400 Alpha UEC. Now they are both capable of taking on low tier bounties, they both can carry a bit of cargo, they both can get you where you need to go, and an often forgotten stat in ship purchases, they both have very short claim timers. Now stock they have pretty similar stats, with the Mustang Alpha punching out 368 damage per second, and the Mark 242 damage per second. Now they both share two empty size 1 weapon slots. For combat, the Aurora has one advantage the Mustang doesn't, and that would be 2 size 1 missiles. Now to make up for this, the Mustang Alpha stock guns are 2 size 2 compared to the Aurora's 2 size 1. A cheap but effective way to really boost firepower in these ships is to add your preferred ballistic repeaters in the 2 empty size 1 slots, and then upgrade the standard guns to the relevant M-series laser cannons. When we look at components in the current build, there isn't much point to replacing most of them. I do tend to swap power plants for JS300s, and the one component that really does benefit a switch is the quantum drive, with the Atlas quantum drive being the best choice in my opinion for virtually all size 1 ships. But let's talk flight. The flight characteristics of the two ships are somewhat similar with some minor differences. Now the Mustang Alpha has a moderate edge and hard agility stats with 47 degrees pitch, 52 degrees yaw, and 150 degrees roll, compared to the Aurora's 46 degrees pitch, 46 degrees yaw, and 140 degrees roll. Now they share the same SCM speed of 225 meters a second, however the Mustang Alpha has a higher boosted speed of 500 meters a second compared to the Aurora's 450. The Mustang is more maneuverable, but does feel a bit less exact in flight, specifically in atmosphere. I would say jumpy is probably the best word to describe it, especially if you're coming from an Aurora. You will feel that the Mustang is almost too reactive. It's not a bad thing, it's just something to be aware of getting into the ship initially. Now, the Aurora MR is noticeably less agile, however it is smooth, which is an underrated attribute in combat, especially for a novice pilot. Smoothness tends to lead to more accurate fire and a better sustained accuracy over time. Enough of boring numbers though, let's actually look at the ships. So let's start with the Mustang Alpha. Now it is a nice looking ship, there's no two ways about it. The wings extend and it looks like a combat ship with curves and straight lines in all the right places. Now there is no interior, which is a major difference from the Aurora. However, the pilot glass is really nice and has a great view going past a 90-degree upward angle. It even has a bit of downward angle on the sides of the console and your legs. My one gripe for the Mustang Alpha interior is the color choice for the MFDs. The 80s IBM monitor orange and brown burned in your eyes for the console is just a bit confusing and can wash out red pip markers for enemies if you're not careful. Now here at the back of the ship is where the cargo carrier is. It drops down, it can carry 4 SU of cargo. Additionally, you can put delivery boxes from delivery missions, and they will stay, which is a nice improvement from when I started with my Mustang Alpha back in the day. because you would put a box in there and you would take off, and 50-50 on whether it was still there when you landed. Let's go look at the Aurora. Now, the Aurora is not as sleek in appearance as the Mustang Alpha. However, it is an incredibly functional design. There are 2 airlock doors, one on either side of the ship, and I do love how they open. With the spinning seals, all that, I just love it. Now, towards the rear of the interior, there is a bed, which does allow for bed logging when that's functional, which it is most of the time. You can store delivery mission boxes here on the floor, although it does seem a bit more problematic than storing them in the cargo pod for the Mustang Alpha. Occasionally, if you have a couple of boxes here on the floor and you go to walk over them, it's just going to spit you out the roof of the ship, so hopefully you're wearing a helmet. Now, the cockpit is better than it looks. The glass is actually, honestly, some of the best in the game in my opinion, because you have solid view angles all around. Yes, there's bars in the way, but they're not huge bars. They're not really blocking anything, and it's easy to look around. It's nice because you have pretty much 180-degree view in all directions, up, down, side to side, diagonal, whatever you want. One minor complaint that I do have for the cockpit is the MFDs that don't seem proportional compared to most other ships, and sometimes it can make it hard to read them because they just seem smaller. It's hard to explain until you fly a few other ships, but it becomes more noticeable when you come back to an Aurora. Now, outside here at the rear of the ship is the cargo area. Now, the Aurora MR can carry 3 SCU of cargo, but it has to be SCU boxes to lock into the rack, so you can't store delivery boxes or anything like that back here. Only SCU crates will lock in to the rack. In conclusion, overall, I lean more towards the Mustang for newer players. Now, either ship will get you into the verse and allow you to find the things that you enjoy and experience a bit of what Star Citizen has to offer. But the Mustang's enhanced combat stats give it an edge over the Aurora, and having 1 extra SCU of cargo capacity can be a huge earning potential difference. In fact, 33% earning difference to be exact over the Aurora. The Mustang Alpha, in my opinion, just has more to offer in terms of trying different playstyles than the Aurora, being able to comfortably take on MRT bounties, just a bit of practice while still performing all the other roles that the Aurora can. Now, with that said, if you are more interested in the exploratory side of Star Citizen, the Aurora might be a better pick. With its immaculate pilot glass, extra 10 gigameters of quantum range out of the stock drive, and having the ability to bedlog, the Aurora can have much more of a lived-in experience for players in ways that the Mustang Alpha simply just can't provide. So this has been a side-by-side look at the Aurora MR and the Mustang Alpha starter ships. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like what we're doing, hit that like button, tap subscribe, and click the bell icon for notifications. Now, as I said at the start, we are working on content and plan to really start putting it out more regularly. This is the first in a series going over all the starter pack ships and reworking my existing catalog of ship reviews, model comparisons, and buyer's guides. The next in the series will be the second tier of starter ships, the C8X, the Cutter, 100I, Avenger Titan, and the new Ciulin. I don't know how to pronounce that, and I'm sorry if it was wrong, although honestly I don't really care. Now, I'm sure anyone that has been watching me for a while knows the big winner from that list. It's not going to be a big surprise for anyone that does, but no spoilers for the newcomers, please. No spoilers. I can't wait to get that done, and in the meantime, thanks for your time, and I look forward to seeing you all out there in the verse.